What's up, guys? It's Techno Viking 23 coming to you today with the first episode of my Let's Play Raid Shadow Legends free-to-play series, where I'm going to take you through the game Raid Shadow Legends, and we're going to play it as a completely free-to-play account and just have a little bit of fun with it. This is a game that I've really been enjoying while kind of stuck at home during all the quarantine stuff going on, so I have several accounts on this game, so I wanted to do a free-to-play playthrough just to use what I've learned and try to help new players who maybe are picking this game up for the first time. Maybe you saw the ad and thought it looked cool and decided to play it. Maybe you are someone who tried the game and didn't like it or didn't understand it and you want to give it another chance. But just in general, I just want to have a little fun with this series and go through it. And just as usual, try to focus on helping new players, beginning players, starter players. You know, I'm not a pro at any of these games. I never pretend to be, but I've learned quite a bit about playing this game. My main account's like level 52. I've made a ton of mistakes on it, which is why I have two other alternate accounts as well. But this account we're going to hopefully be very efficient on and do pretty well. So I've actually played through the tutorial to the point where you're going to be able to pick your first champion that you're going to get in the game. I do kind of apologize for the border as well. I'm playing this on PC through Plarium's PC app, and unfortunately, you can't get into the game settings until you finish the tutorial. So I didn't want to skip any of this stuff. So once I get through that, I'll try to get it to where it's full screen without the border. But anyways, we get through the little tutorial where the dragon basically team wipes the initial team here, and the arbiter is now going to allow us to pick a starting champion to use in the game. They're all pretty good choices. The general consensus right now in the raid community and among the people that play this game well is to go with Kaerock, just based on the fact he is probably the most versatile of all the starting champions because he can do some poison damage, which is very helpful in many areas of the game. The other starter champions are pretty good. I actually have Elaine and Aethel and Gaelic on my other three accounts, so I've got experience with pretty much all of them. I've used Kale as well, and no matter who you pick here, it's possible to get these other three champions through shard drops and openings and things as you play through the game. For efficiency and just for the point of helping people out, we're going to go with Kale here because he is the most versatile champion you can get right at the start. You can see their skills too if you want to check them out here, but you can see his basic skill on his attack 1 here. Can place a poison debuff. He's got an attack all enemies on his second attack, and then he can attack 4 times at random with his disintegrate and place a 5% poison debuff. So these 2 poison skills with him are pretty big. His auras increase all ally HP in battles. That's pretty standard among the starter champions. So we're just going to go ahead and pick Kale here and get into the opening of the game. Alright, so of course, these games always make you play through this little tutorial section, and one of the things as I go through and play this game, I'll definitely kind of tell you guys what each thing is and what we should be focusing on and what we're going to be doing as we get into it. But let's just see what Arbiter wants us to do. This is your Bastion. From here you'll summon and train champions. You have chosen the first champion, but champions in an army. Use a mystery star to summon another champion out of the portal. So the portal here is actually where you will get new champions. We're going to be using this quite a lot. Mystery shards allow you to summon. So you've got 4 different kinds of shards. You've got mystery, ancient, void shards, and then sacred shards. So these void and sacreds are going to be pretty rare for us since we're on a free-to-play account, but we should get quite a few mystery and ancient shards to use as we play through the game. Now, there is a 2-time shard summoning event going on right now in the game. People really look forward to these because sometimes it helps them summon better champions from their shards. And me personally, I have never had any luck in any summoning event, so I usually just pull my shards whenever I feel like it. But we'll go over that later on when we get into the game. Alright, so she's going to allow us to summon our 2 mystery shards here to get 2 other champions on our account to play with Kale. And I believe actually this one is always the, let me see if I'm right, yeah, it's always the sniper. She's just a basic uncommon champion, which is going to start at 2 stars, and you'll be able to take them to level 20. And it's not going to show. She can do a double shot, and then she can also hit all enemies. Alright, so we want to go out here now. See, I hate how they just make you follow all this at the beginning. All right, so our first stage of the campaign is Kaerock Castle, and that's where we're going to start our battle and go through. Yes, he won't even let me scroll the map. So they go through, and there's this rich and interesting story. At least that's what the devs will tell you on all their advertisements. The story is just kind of silly. It's not really, there's really no story in this game. I think it's kind of funny they do call it an RPG because it's not really an RPG. All right, Kaerock will not fall easily. Like all places, there's multiple stages of defenders. You have to defeat them all to go forward. So there's 7 stages in every campaign. You basically have to go through all the minions and then fight the boss. Every battle will cost energy. You see here we only have 18, but that's going to change quite a bit. This is the team selection screen. There's the affinity explanation. Basically, void affinity is the best. It's not weak against anything. Magic is weak to force. Force is weak to spirit. Spirit is weak to magic. So you just have to keep that in mind sometimes when you're fighting. That'll come in handy later on when you get into some dungeons. So you can see here, Kale has this aura, which is going to increase all of our team's hit points in the battle by 15%. There's all kinds of different auras that can be used in different areas of the game, whether it be the arena or dungeons or just specific. Sometimes their aura will be able to be used everywhere in all battles. It just kind of depends on what you get here. So, all right, let's go ahead and fight. It's going to cost us 4 energy. And then she's going to explain the affinity again here. We're basically going to, for speed's sake, take this up to X2 and automatic. You really don't need to do much manual inputting on any of these battles. The only time you're going to need to really manual input anything in the game is when you get into harder content, or if you're playing through a dungeon or a clan boss and you want to make sure certain abilities hit properly. All right, so that's pretty easy. We won it, and we have our first gear drop, which is a pretty crappy attack weapon here. So, but she's going to make us go equip it. That's just, they're trying to teach you how to play the game in this early stage here. So go to your collection and equip the artifact. And again, we'll get into this more in depth when I start getting into the actual part of the game. I'll explain artifacts and stuff as we level up and things more in general. All right, so we equipped it and we got a whole whopping +4 attack, which is not much. Return to Kaerock Castle, fight through the Bannerlords. I know he's come to the shadow. Okay, so yeah, we still can't play. It's not letting me do anything else, so we're going to have to go through. I always forget about this stuff when I start a new account. It's like you have to go through the whole initial stages again, even though you already know what you're doing, but this will be good to kind of help anybody out who's new. It does do some general explaining of what's going on. So we're going to fight through these Bannerlords. They're basically just cannon fodder at this point for Kale and our sniper. Sniper is a green uncommon champion they give every new account basically, and she's actually not too bad. She can work in the long run for you as a serviceable character, but we're going to hopefully get some better champions. All right, we leveled up. Every time you level up, you'll see this screen. Your energy max increases, and you also get some gems. Gems are like the free-to-play premium currency in the game. If you played any other mobile game like this, you kind of know how that works, but we'll explain that later. Gems are very important, especially if we're going to be free to play, so we're going to hold on to those as much as we can. All right, let's go back to our Bastion, and it's going to want us to equip another, and this is going to explain artifact sets. Sets come in 2 and 4, and if you have those artifacts equipped, it's going to give you a set bonus. This is an HP set, and we really don't want HP on Kale. We want to have attack and damage, more damage focused sets, but for right now, for teaching you how to do things, this is what the game is going to do. All right, so this is the screen where you can upgrade and enchant artifacts, and it's basically just going to show us how to do that. If the game decides to not freeze, that would be great. This happens to me all the time, regardless if I'm playing on PC or on my phone. It just decides to freeze while it's doing the artifact process. Okay, so success. She's going to make us take it all the way up to level 4, I believe, so we can unlock the first substat bonus. Your basic artifact is going to have a primary stat. There's going to be 4 substats that can vary. And as we're playing through the game, I will kind of tell you guys what's good, what to watch out for. All right, so we got crit damage 1%. That's actually okay. Again, these artifact sets we're getting right now are not anything that we're going to want to keep on him long term. Okay, we finally have control. We do. All right, cool. So a lot of things going on here. We've got some daily quest items popping up here in the corner. One thing I wanted to explain here, this is good. If you're a brand new player to Raid Shadow Legends, the first 2 weeks that you play the game, they are going to give you 2 full artifact sets that are actually really solid, and they're going to give you an epic champion on day 7 and an epic champion on day 14. All new players will get these champions. Shaman is the epic you get for playing for a week. She's got a revive ability. She's not a great champion for long term, like at in game, but she will definitely be very good for you early on and through the mid game, and she can be an early arena champion for you because she provides a revive. The other one you're going to get is Jizo, who is a lizard man, and he can counterattack and buff his allies as well. So you're going to automatically get 2 epic quality champions if you just play the game for 2 weeks. So, and the cool thing about Raid that I actually really like about this game compared to the other mobile games I play, you are not penalized for missing a day of login. So let's say I log in today, I'm going to get this artifact here. If I don't log back onto the game for 5 more days, when I come back, it'll be on day 2. It's not like Marvel Strike Force or Star Wars Galaxy Heroes, where if you miss a day in the login calendar, you're basically screwed out of, however many days you miss of login rewards that month, which could really hurt you since a lot of the better rewards come toward the end of the month in those games. But you don't have to worry about that in Raid. It's kind of play at your own pace. When you log in, you can log in. And this first gear set is actually very important because this is a gear set we're going to want to stick on Kayle because this is a lifesteal set. It allows us to steal health when we do damage. And you can see there we got our first artifact is a set of boots. And then if you want to take a look at the Shaman champion, you can kind of get a preview of her early on. See her skills. Attacks one enemy, has a 25% chance of removing a random buff. That's actually pretty good for early game. Exploit weakness, attacks one enemy and puts an increased crit rate buff on all allies for 2 turns. That can actually do pretty good early for you as well. And then she can revive an ally, which is a good skill for arena and other areas of the game. And then Faction Crypts is her aura. We'll talk about Faction Crypts later. It's kind of like a sub area of the game you can play and get other rewards. But you can see here, this is the lifesteal set, and at the end of day 6, we'll have a full set of lifesteal. You only need 4 pieces to make the set, so we're going to want to wait till the very end because we'll probably use this sword since it's 5 stars already. Getting a 5-star artifact this early in the game is going to be really helpful for your main champion. And lifesteal is a set we're going to keep on Kayle for quite a while to help him with his survivability as he does damage. And our first pop-up ad. So we're going to be ignoring most of these. Now, if you were a player who does want to spend some money, this is not a bad deal. Early on in the game, $30 to get Sacred Shard, 2 Voids, 4 Ancients, and a bunch of energy and some gems. Really not a bad deal there. I'm going to just tell you right now, one of the things that annoys me about this game, even though it's one of my favorite mobile games, you're going to get a ton of ad pop-ups. So just be prepared for that. All right, so in general, let's see what we can do here. All right, if you go up to this portrait on the left, you can actually change your options. We want to change our picture if we can. It's all kind of generic. I guess we'll just go with Kayle since he's our main character. So you see we got an achievement here, which I'll go over that in just a second. You can change your username if you want. I can't remember what I called this one, but I'll just change it to something. All right, so I just made a different variation of the username. You get achievements for doing all this stuff, so you might as well just do it at the beginning. Let me go to options here and see if I can do... Okay, I'm actually going to put frames at unlimited, I think, because we should be able to handle that. Let's go full screen. All right, cool. There we go. We got rid of the bars on the side. Everything else is going to be high. So, cool. All right. Info, we don't really need to worry about that. Language, English. All right, cool. So now you can see we've changed our profile picture. We've got our name up here. This will tell us if we have any shards we can open. There's a referral program here. If you want to get your friends to play the game, you get a referral link, and then you can actually send it to them. And if they get it and play through the game, every time they reach a level milestone, you will get a bonus item, which is pretty cool. I think it's supposed to award me an achievement when I do that, but I guess it's not. All right, so Portal, we have some free rewards available. Click this over here. So we've got, it's going to give us a couple items to start with, attack and a shield, and 4 magic brews. Brews you can use to level up your characters. So everything else here. So we've got, I'm going to just spend this episode, I don't want it to get super long, but I'll just go over all the initial stuff so you guys kind of get an idea of what's going on. This little 3-bar thing on the left, this is your menu. You can go here and see all of the news that's going on. I usually just mark all as red. If you see something that you're interested in, you can definitely check it out. But nothing there all that crazy. And then here you're going to have daily login rewards. Your new player rewards are going to be basically this. It'll show you that again. There's progression rewards. As you level up in the game, every 5 levels you get an item, experience boost, skill tomes, gems. Skill tomes level up your character's powers. Silver, all this stuff is pretty important, especially if you're free to play. So, and then you can see as you reach like level 60, it gets you a sacred shard. So there's some good stuff in there. And then we go to our daily login rewards. This is going to be the daily login calendar. And as a free to play player, this is going to be a very important calendar because you can see throughout the first month you play, you're actually going to get 2 void shards and 3 ancient shards. Now, ancient shards have a chance to actually pull a legendary champion, which is the highest level in the game. It's very rare. I've actually done it on 2 of my accounts, though. Those are the only legendaries I've ever pulled were off a random blue shard, not off a void or a sacred, unfortunately. But these shards can all pull champions that are capable of taking your account to the next level. So you want to make sure you're taking advantage of that. But you get different stuff each day. It gives you artifacts, skill books to level up your champions, and every 30 days you do get a new champion. And here you have High Katoon, Yaga the Insatiable, and then Dark Aethel, who's a dark version of the starter Aethel that you can get there. High Katoon is a very important character for us early on. She's a barbarian, and she has this Rally the Horde ability that's going to fill our turn meter on all of our allies. And she's also going to buff our speed. And that's going to be huge for the arena. She is a great champion in early on arena. We'll get into arena more in depth later on, but arena is very frustrating right now, no matter where you are in the game, because the way Plarium has done it, there's a lot of old accounts in the arena and accounts that have just sat around. So when you go into like your first arena level at Bronze 1, you're going to see accounts with like level 60 legendary characters on defense that you simply have 0 chance of beating. So we'll go over those frustrations in a little bit, but High Katoon is a really good champion that you get early on that's going to help your account out quite a bit. So very important to at least play that first initial month to get her. Yaga is in the second month. You get him at day 60. He's got some really good poison damage. He's good for the clan boss. You're probably not going to have any other decent epics at that point to use against the clan boss, or you may have gotten lucky on one of these shard pulls, but he's going to be a good champion to focus on getting here. So this is just the login rewards. Let's grab today's, which is 20,000 silver. All right, and then you come down here, you have the shop. Now, the shop is where you can spend money. Obviously, it's a free-to-play account. We're not going to spend money. Don't buy any of this stuff here. This value on these is absolutely terrible. Now, every week you will get a free ancient shard, and you will get a free mystery shard once a day. Mystery shards you'll get a ton of. It's important early on to open these because mystery shard can actually give you a blue rare champion, and that can really be helpful for your account if you get the right pull early on in the game. And then obviously from the ancient shards you can get epic or legendary champions from those as well. So it's always good to pull these early, especially as a new account. Again, same thing here. We're not going to be spending our gems on any of this stuff. And then these are all pretty bad value to get as well. Now the gem shop, you can spend your gems that you get by playing the game. The only things in here that we would even think about getting as a new player, once we get around enough gems, is depending on how our account has shaped up to the point, possibly this small shard pack, which gives you 3 ancient shards for 270 gems. Relatively good value on a new account because you can actually, if you get a account changing pull off of that, it can really speed up your progress in the game. The other thing would be a 40 gems for a full energy refill. As a free-to-play player, energy is going to be one of our issues, so we're definitely going to want to save gems for getting more energy. You got your gem mine. You can unlock this later. You can see it takes 500 gems to unlock. This will be worth investing in once we get to a certain point in the game, but right now we're not going to worry too much about it. The market opens at level 18. You can buy mystery shards. Once in a while, you'll get lucky. You'll see an ancient shard pop up. You can buy uncommon champions, common champions, all kinds of gear and stuff. You'll see that once we get that open. It refreshes once an hour, and usually everything in there is silver, so you'll be able to buy things there. Sparring pit is you can go in here and actually get just free experience for your champions. Levels them up while you're playing the game. Tavern is where you can do some more advanced options with your champions in terms of upgrades and ascension and things like that. We'll go over that in depth once it opens up. And then the Great Hall is where you can apply bonuses to your overall roster. This is going to be heavily linked to the arena and a very important area of the game to pay attention to. And we'll again go over that in depth because there's a way, if you're a new player, you really want to make sure that you're shaping your Great Hall so that it helps you in the long run throughout your playtime in this game. So I think that's it for just that general stuff. In the right, you're going to see this little hourglass. This is the playtime rewards. The longer you play, the more stuff you get, up to 180 minutes. This is every day this refreshes. So you can get silver, you can get a mystery shard. Most important thing every day for me is you're going to want to play for an hour just to get this full energy refresh. That's going to be huge when you're grinding early on. And then if you come down here on the bottom, we have missions. Now, yeah, she's going to pop on here and tell us about missions. You want to pay attention to these early on. It's not super important to really make sure you're doing them every day, but just keep an eye on them as you're leveling. It's easier to do these as you progress through the initial parts of the game versus trying to come back and do them like after your account's mature. It's much harder to do in that case. But you can see like the first one is a campaign mission, clear stage 7 of Kaerock Castle on normal. So when we finish that first campaign level, we're going to get a 1-day XP boost and 20k silver. Now, if you look through all these, you can see on the bottom, we get energy rewards, silver rewards, gem rewards, brews, mystery shards, potions, books, all kinds of stuff here. So you're going to want to go through these and make sure you're progressing them. Now, some of them can be kind of difficult. Trying to find the arena ones are usually the hardest ones, and those are gonna delay your progress quite a bit. Defeat 20 champions in arena that's not too bad. I'm trying to find 5 classic battles in arena. That's not too bad. I'm just trying to come down to the end. 10 medals from classic arena is not bad, but there's some in here. I think it's the first one is to reach bronze 3, which that will take you a while. When you get to that point, you're gonna probably be stuck for a little while. We'll get there eventually. But if you look at the bottom here, this is why it's important to do these missions and pay attention to them, because your first set of missions, there's 76 of these in this first set. You get 300 gems for finishing those. Then it's going to give you part 2, which is 75 gems. You'll get a sacred shard for those. Then it gives you part 3, where you can get 2 legendary books. And then the most important, at part 4, unless you have like the best luck in the world and pull her from a shard, is going to be the Arbiter, who is a pretty amazing character in this game. She's one of the most important characters for the arena. She's got an amazing kit and just overall is a great champion. So it's important to pay attention to your missions, because eventually at some point, if you're diligent with these, you'll be able to unlock her. Now, each set, part 1 is pretty easy to get through. Part 2 gets much harder, part 3 gets much harder, and there's all kinds of different requirements that get added in to how you're going to progress through those, and we'll go over that more in detail. Quests. You have daily, weekly, and monthly quests in addition to achievements here, and so your daily quest is going to be important. You want to do these every day, get your experience, and get your gems. This will add more in as we go up a little bit. By the time it's over with, you'll have 7 daily quests every day that you want to do. One is going to be complete 5 arena battles. So you make 4 artifact upgrades to a champion, summon 3 champions every day. That's just those mystery shards. Get that one done easily. Use 50 energy in campaign battles or wherever else you fight. It'll say win campaign battles 7 times. Sometimes this will be fight 3 boss battles, so not too bad. And then another one is to use the tavern to level up your champions 3 times, which is not too bad either. So let's go ahead and grab this first one, get that XP boost and some silver. Now, weekly is going to basically be doing your dailies 5 days, and then also there's some additional ones here that you can do every week. You can ascend a champion 1 time, upgrade a champion to rank 4. That's basically 4 stars. We'll talk about ranking them up later. Upgrade 1 artifact to level 12, summon 25 champions for the week, and beat a dungeon boss 15 times. Now, again, kind of like your login rewards, this is not going to like reset if you miss a day. This just goes along with your progress as you play the game. It's not, it does says weekly quest, but it's not going to reset like at the end of the week. You'll still be able to keep doing it. Weekly quest is cool because you get 1 ancient shard every week through this. So between that and the shop, you can get 2 ancient shards a week just by doing your logins. That's pretty good there. So then we have monthly quests. Monthly quest is pretty cool because if you just do your daily quests over here every day, 30 days in a row, you'll get a sacred or a void shard. And then if you finish the rest of these, so you got 500 campaign battles, 150 classic arena battles, upgrade 2 artifacts to level 16, and upgrade a champion rank 5, you'll get a sacred shard. Sacred shards give you the best chance of pulling epic, and they're basically guaranteed to give you an epic champion and have the best chance of pulling legendaries as well. So it's pretty cool. And again, just like the monthly and the daily, this will not reset at all. So as long as you keep playing each day, you're going to have progress in this. The only place you really have to be concerned is your daily quest will reset. So every 24 hours, this will change. So if you don't finish them all, you will lose that progress, but it's not a huge deal. All right, then we have achievements, and these are all pretty easy to get here. Change our username, we already did that. That's going to give us some XP and some silver. We changed the avatar. We're already connected to Plarium ID through the computer app. So we got to level 3. All right, lock a champion, unlock a champion. We'll do that in a second. Enable notifications in your device settings. Okay. We'll do that later through the Plarium app. Okay, so that's our quest. Now we have challenges, which are kind of like missions, but these are a little bit more difficult at times. And unlike the missions, these are not retroactive. With a lot of the missions, if you finish one before you get to it, it'll still give you credit for it. But here you have to actually do these as you progress your account. So the first section is champions. There's 5 parts of this. We're on part 1, and it's basically this is going to be summon a magic champion, spirit, force, upgrade a champion's skill, win a campaign battle using 4 champions of level 20. Now these change as you progress through them, but you can see here you're going to get little rewards for finishing these. Once we finish all 5, we'll get a rare skill tome. So like, for example, I'm on part 4 of 5 on my other account, or I'm sorry, 5 of 5, and that's basically, get a champion to level 60, play a campaign mission with 4 champions of level 60, and they change as you progress through each section. Artifacts, these are going to be pretty easy at the beginning. Just win 3 weapons from clearing stage 1, 3 helmets from stage 2, and so on and so forth. These are going to basically teach you and show you how you start grinding by replaying certain campaign missions over and over again. Dungeons, there's different dungeons you can play: Magic Keep, Force Keep, Void Keep, Spirit, etc., etc. That's where you're going to get potions to ascend your champions, which we'll go over more detail in a later episode. It's kind of too early to be focusing on that. And then you have the arena, 5 classic battles, win 1 defense battle, win a battle without losing a champion, win 20 bronze medals. Just basically pretty standard stuff for early on. Okay, and as we go on through the bottom, you have clans here. I don't know if we can join a clan yet. I think it's too early, but I can pull up my personal clan that I'm in, that I use just for my other accounts in a test. See if it will let me join. I don't know if it's even going to find it. But it's going to be important to be in a clan because that's going to allow you to fight the clan boss and get you some extra rewards there. I don't know what's going on here, but it's not. I don't think we can join a clan yet. I think it's too early. It'll tell us when we're able to. All right, index is just an area. It's like a codex, sort of. If you want to come in here, you can look at each faction in the game, and you can take a look at the champions and what they look like at level 60 with all their stats maxed out. And it will have all the different champions for each faction. If if you want to explore that. It's kind of an interesting little area, but not really a big deal early on. Okay, and then of course we have our champion area. This is where you're going to be able to come and manipulate your roster, play with artifacts and things, and get into that there. So we have Kale, obviously, he's our starter. I kind of want to start building him out a little bit, but we're going to wait on that. So we've gone through pretty much everything here. So let's go to the portal, and we have two shards to summon here. And if you look over here, you have Fusion. So Fusion is another way to get champions in this game. These are all champions you can unlock by playing the game and opening shards. And so let's say you get these 4 champions here, all at 3 stars, fully ascended. You can fuse them into this guy right here and get him. And then once you get him and these other 3 champions, you can fuse them into the Relic Keeper, who's okay. He's not a great champion, but he's pretty decent. And you eventually will have to fuse him in order to progress your missions. There's also Broadmaw, who is a epic support. Not an amazing champion, but you know, if you're a free-to-play account and you want to try to go after this, it's, you know, it might help you out a little bit. And then we have Rosin Scarhide, who is actually a legendary, and he is actually very, very good. But as you can see here, he's going to take quite a bit. You're going to need all these 16 rares at level 40, all ascended to full 4 stars. And then you're going to have to go through and get all of the epics that you get from them to level 50, 5-star fully ascended. So this will take you quite a while, but it's worth doing because he is one of the best champions in the game as a legendary, and he looks pretty cool too. So Fusion is a cool way for you to get some champions, especially if you're a free-to-play player. This is kind of like the set way to get them instead of having to worry about random pulls, but you never know what you'll get there. You also have fragment summons. There's a couple of champions that they will do events for where you can get fragments to drop, and you'll be able to get these champions that way. Drexler Blood Twin, you can get his through the 3v3 arena, which is something we'll go over a little bit later on. And then Kreela Witch Arm, they just put her in the game. They've had some summoning events and things that allowed you to get shards for her. I think I'm at like 65 or 70 on one of my accounts with her, but she's okay. She's an Orc Legendary. But stuff we're not going to worry too much about right now. All right, let's pull our next 2 greens and see if we get lucky. Nope, we got the Preacher. She is food or trash bin, basically. And we got the Mage Killer, kind of same thing there. A lot of these commons are going to be not very good. There's a few that you can use that are worth investing in, but I'll go over that when I get to them. All right, we're going to skip these. You'll start getting these pop-ups for all these awards and things. Let's go ahead and grab our challenges. Give us a little bit of silver. Silver is going to be a very important resource for you early in the game. You're going to want to make sure you kind of hoard it and only use it for things that you really need. All right, so this episode's getting kind of long already. It's an introductory episode only, but let's go ahead and do the Kaerock Castle campaign just to kind of get us to the finish line of this first episode. And when you come over to battle, you see here you got dungeons, faction wars, arena, clan boss. That's all going to open up for us later. And let's go through real quick too. I'll explain the campaign map. These are all the different stages that you go through. And this top right icon, each one is going to be the reward you get for completing the full stage. So the cool thing is you finish this first stage, Kaerock Castle, you're going to get a 3-star rare champion. That's, I think, War Priest, and she's actually okay. She's decent for an early account. She's not going to be something you're going to use in any game, but she can be serviceable for a new player, so that's kind of cool. But you can see here, some of them give books, some of them drop artifacts, some give the experience brews. And then each stage is also going to have, you see a little icon here, these are going to be the artifact sets you can get in those stages from random drops. But you can see here, if you go all the way to the very last stage, you get a Void Shard. And at the bottom, you see it keeps track of how many stars you get on each stage. And you can also get a Void shard there if you get all 252 stars, which is something we'll work on as we go through. All right, and one other thing too to go over real quick is on the left here, you're going to see what artifact drops you can get. These are going to be the specific ones for each stage. On the boss stage at the very bottom, you can basically get anything. These are champions that can randomly drop as you play these stages. And every stage, there's going to be some rare champions that can drop that are actually pretty good. And in Kaerock Castle, Valerie, one of the Banner Lords, can drop to you. She is one of the better support champions to get early in the game. She's got a really good kit that can help your team because she can decrease the duration of debuffs. She puts an increased attack buff on your team as well, and then she can also place a shield buff depending on her level, and it also will heal them. So, really good champion to get early on. If you want to focus on grinding Kaerock Castle, you can go for her. So, let's go through here now. You can see here too, it'll tell you the requirements to get the stars for each stage. So beat the stage, beat it with no losses. 2 or fewer champions, no losses, you get 3 stars. So let's just go through here and beat these first couple stages really quick to get through it. So we can end this first episode without it getting too long. Sorry if I'm kind of rambling in this episode. It's just I'm trying to make sure I give you guys all the information as a new player. And I think it's important to spend some extra time going over the different areas of the game at first. Obviously, as we get later into the game, there will be other stuff to go more in depth on. We'll explore kind of each different area as we get through it. All right, we leveled up to level 4. And we got to drop a 2-star shield. Defense, flat stats, not so great. You can get percentage stats or flat stats. I'll kind of explain that later on, but we're going to just sell this for right now. All right, and go to the next stage. Now, one thing I want to tell you guys that a lot of people miss, if you look on the bottom here, it'll say replay, edit your team, or next. If you click next, it takes you to the next stage of this game to play. But you'll see here, this costs energy. If you want to edit your team, it costs energy. That's something they don't really tell you about. Replay, obviously, you're going to cost the energy to play the stage again. If you go to stage selection, and you click on that battle again, it's going to give you the ability to edit your team without spending 4 energy or however many energy that stage costs. Don't use those next stage or edit team buttons because that's just going to cost you energy. And as a free-to-play player, that's going to be your most important resource. That's something you got to watch out for. They don't really tell you that. All right, so let's go through here. Again, these guys are all pretty easy to beat at first. You may lose a champion or two as you're going through here, but it's really not too bad. You can see there we lost our sniper, but we should still be able to get through and get to the end here. And we leveled up again, so you're going to level up very quickly at the start of the game. And we got Crusader. So this is a random drop. He is an uncommon champion, and he's actually not too bad. He attacks one enemy 2 times, which is pretty good on his basic. And then attacks one enemy with a random ally. We'll use their default skill. So that's basically he'll attack, and then you'll get a bonus attack along with it. All right, cool. So very cool. We got some 2-star gloves. We got Crusader, and we got some silver. All right, let's move on. See, we only got 1 star for that stage since somebody died during the stage, so we'll have to come back and beat that again. Let's move on to the next stage. Now we can actually put 3 champions in. So we're going to put Kale, our sniper, and then we'll put Crusader in there with them as well. Again, we're just going to go through here and beat up these cannon fodder. And it shouldn't be too difficult, especially now that we have a Crusader and we get a bonus attack with him. We should be able to beat this pretty easily. All right, there we go. 2 stars. We got a 2-star chest plate with resistance. We'll just get rid of that right now. And now we are at stage 6. We're almost to the boss. I think we can beat the boss with this team. I don't think we'll have to really spend any time upgrading anything, but we will see what happens here. Crusader is a cool looking champion too. I love he's got this massive sword with all these spikes on it. One of the things I do like about this game, and I know everyone says it, is the champions do look pretty cool. They did a really good job designing it. Obviously, there's no character depth behind any of them, really. There's lore that you can find, I think, on Plarium's website about the characters, but you have to go outside the game. But for a mobile game, they did a really good job with the designs. And there's over 400 champions in the game. There's a lot more coming. There's going to be a new update here, hopefully soon, where they bring in some new content and some new champions. All right, so we are leveling up quick. Level 6, that's going to unlock a bunch of stuff for us to do. And we're at level 4. And real quick, too, here. So you see Kaerock has 3 stars. That means he can go up to level 30. Every star is basically 10. So Crusader and Sniper can both go up to 20. And then you'll be able to actually upgrade their level rank through the tavern, which is something we'll go over later. Let's just get this stage finished. Hopefully we can beat this guy. And then we will get War Priest to add to our team, which will give us a halfway solid 4 players to go, or 4 champions for the start of the game. Obviously, we have a lot of energy left, and this episode's going to end in a few minutes, but I may just kind of play through this first stage to see if I can farm up Valerie and also get some gear going for some of these characters. See, we got him to half health. He's got a shield. I think we should. Okay, there we go. Kaerock got a big hit there, so he's dead, and we have beaten Kaerock Castle. And my internet's acting up, so it's taking forever to load. So when you beat the stage, you'll get a little storyboard here telling you what's going on. This is the really in-depth, deep RPG stuff that they talk about. All right, so we got War Priest, who is in the Sacred Order. She is a rare support, and she has some skills here. She can put a freeze debuff for 1 turn on an enemy. That's really not anything great. Heals a target by 20% of their max HP. This is actually pretty solid. She will be your basically your healing champion when you first start the game. And she can also place an increased attack buff on all allies for 2 turns. This is pretty good, but it's on a 5-turn cooldown, which it's not great, but you can book it down to 3 turns. But she's serviceable. She'll definitely help us out in the early stages of the game. The other cool thing, too, is we did get a full set of attack gear with 3 stars, and then we got some more silver. So that's not too bad. So let's go back to our Bastion. And this is going to give us another pop-up for something to buy, which we're not gonna do that. Novice Tournament. This kind of introduces you to tournaments. Beat the competition, win rewards. We'll talk a bit more about tournaments here in a second, but let's go in here and get our XP boost and our silver. Now these XP boosts you get from here will automatically unlock, and they'll be up here to tell you how much time you have left on it. You're going to get a bunch of these early on in your playthrough, so make sure you're taking advantage of that. When you get an XP boost, your best places to farm for XP if you're grinding champion level is going to be in the campaign missions. Dungeons don't give anywhere near as much experience, so you want to make sure you use that in the campaign missions. You have a little treasure chest up here. Sometimes they'll put your XP boost and rewards in here, so check that. You might have something in there. All right, so campaign battle 7 times. We'll grab that. I'll finish this up off video in a minute to get the full daily quest. And then we've unlocked the Tavern and Great Hall. I'm going to go over those in a different video because this is running a little bit longer than I had hoped. Let's go into tournaments real quick. They run all kinds of different tournaments and events. And you can see in here, it's got all these. These are all basically new players who just started the game. and you can get rewards. These little icons or points will claim that reward, which basically gave us an energy refill. You get to 50, you're going to get some mystery shards, you're going to get some silver, some brews. You can actually get a rare champion and a full, I think it's a 5-star speed set. That's actually really, really good to get if you're early in the game. I think you just play the game to get this. Yeah, so it's basically just beating campaign locations, raiding dungeons, and winning arena battles for this one. So it's basically just basic play of the game. So this runs for 2 days, basically. So play the game as much as you can the first 2 days to try to get this speed set at the top. So we'll see how much we can progress that. All right, we got some playing awards. And I think that's it for now. Let's go pull this screen real quick and see what we get. Okay, nothing good. A duplicate of Mage Killer. Okay. All right. Cool. So, anyways, guys, that's a basic introduction to Raid Shadow Legends. We'll get more into it in the next episode. I think this is run kind of long. I don't want these to go. I'm thinking hopefully more like 30 minutes because that gives me more of a condensed space. And plus, I don't have a lot of time to record before I have to start worrying about my Elgato messing up and the internet and all this other stuff. I got a video about just an update on the channel and things and talking about how the hardware issues and things have been going on, and hopefully we'll get those rectified soon. But until then, we're going to just do what we can do. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this first episode of the Raid Shadow Legends free-to-play series. If you have any questions about anything, let me know down below in the comments. I'll try to help you out the best I can, and hopefully if you are a brand new player, the series is going to help you out quite a bit, or if you're someone coming back to the game, this will help you have a more efficient playthrough. So anyways, guys, as always, thank you for watching. Hope you guys are having a great day, and I will see you again next time.